Just when Liverpool thought their defensive blueprint for the future was beginning to take shape, a fresh twist has thrown a wrench into their summer plans. Marc Guehi, the Crystal Palace star long admired at Anfield, now finds himself at the centre of a developing saga, one that could have significant repercussions for Arne Slot's ambitions. With rival interest heating up and time slipping away, the Reds may be forced into a decision they've been reluctant to make. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. But first, Arne Slot has explained how Florian WZ is the replacement Liverpool needed when Trent Alexander-Arnold ran down his contract to move to Real Madrid. Alexander-Arnold's efforts to leave his boyhood club have left a sour taste in the mouths of supporters, but Slot and his staff have quickly moved on. A remarkable summer of spending, which amounts to £295 million so far, and could feasibly exceed £450 million, has improved a title-winning squad and revamped their setup. Central to that is the British record signing of WZ, who has shone throughout pre-season, including in his natural number 10 role in Monday's 3-2 win over Athletic Club at Anfield. Speaking to LFC TV after the game, which followed an earlier 4-1 victory over the same side, Slot detailed his renovation work and pointed to WZ as a replacement for Alexander-Arnold's creativity. "I think there's always room for improvement in every department," the head coach explained. "We've added a few, in my opinion, extra weapons. Florian has a lot of creativity in the final third. We've lost, with Trent, a lot of creativity from the back. So Trent's crosses and picking out runners was so special. I think Flo has this quality as well, in a totally different position, but he brings that creativity. We have also added the pace of Hugo, the pace of both fullbacks, Milos and Jeremy. You need to make, in everything you do, the next step, because our competitors are not sitting still either. Not only do they try to improve as well, but they've also made a lot of signings like we all have. So that's why it's going to be a very interesting Premier League again." While Liverpool's interest in WZ goes back years, it is likely that their decision to push ahead with a £116 million deal was partly informed by the loss of Alexander-Arnold. The number 66 was such a unique talent in his starting role as a right-back that it was widely expected that his exit would prompt a change in how the Reds build up their attacks. Now it is set to run through WZ as the central hub in a 4-2-3-1, while, as Slot noted, new fullbacks Milos Kerkez and Jeremy Frimpong will offer more of an orthodox presence with relentless energy up the flanks. So far, the signs are that this could be a successful evolution of an already outstanding side, and WZ is key to that. Now, in a huge Marc Guehi blow, Liverpool may need to shift gears, and quickly, in their pursuit of Marc Guehi, with Newcastle United circling once again in what could become a fierce late summer transfer battle. The Reds have maintained a long-standing interest in the England international, viewing him as a crucial part of their defensive future. With Virgil van Dijk, now 34, and Ibrahima Konate attracting serious attention from Real Madrid, reinforcements at centre-back are firmly on Liverpool's radar. Guehi, who led Crystal Palace to the FA Cup last season and remains a prize figure at Selhurst Park, has been a name high on the Merseyside shortlist throughout the summer. Yet progress has been painfully slow. Palace have stood firm, valuing their defensive linchpin at a premium. And while Liverpool hesitate, Newcastle may be ready to pounce. The Magpies have history here. They tracked Guehi throughout last summer, impressed by his commanding displays during England's run to the Euro 2024 final. But despite their best efforts, they failed to get a deal over the line, watching instead as Guehi flourished in South London with another standout campaign. Now, Eddie Howe is ready to try again. According to The Times, Newcastle are preparing a fresh approach for Guehi. Liverpool, meanwhile, are still reluctant to meet Palace's £50 million valuation, a bold stance considering the defender is entering the final year of his contract. But with Real Madrid looming large in the race for Konate, the Reds could soon be backed into a corner. If Los Blancos come calling, Liverpool may have no choice but to firm up their pursuit of Guehi or risk being left short in a vital area of the pitch. There's no sugarcoating it, Newcastle have endured a bruising summer at Liverpool's hands. First, Hugo Ekitike, a long-term target for Howe, looked destined for St. James's Park before Arne Slot and Liverpool swooped in and hijacked the deal. Then came relentless pressure from the Reds over Alexander Isak. The Swedish striker now appears unsettled in the northeast, his head turned by the lure of playing for the reigning champions. The whole saga has left Howe visibly agitated, with his summer transfer plans thrown off course at a time when he should be focused on preparing for a return to the Champions League. Reigniting their interest in Guehi might feel like reopening old wounds for Newcastle, but if they can pull it off, it would mark a much-needed show of strength, a chance for Howe to hit back after a string of setbacks. And for Liverpool, the clock is ticking. If they continue to hesitate, they may find themselves watching another top target slip away. In other news, Liverpool target Alexander Isak has been warned not to expect a warm welcome back to Newcastle, with Eddie Howe saying, "You have to act in the right way." Isak has returned to the UK following time spent at the training ground of former club Real Sociedad last week, with the striker pushing for an exit. Though Liverpool have had a first bid worth around £110 million rejected and have since distanced themselves from an improved offer, the expectation is that a new approach will be made. That will only come if and when Newcastle progress on a replacement, and in the meantime, Isak is set to report back for work with his current club on Monday. Speaking at the end of his side's pre-season tour of Singapore and South Korea, Howe warned his number 14, "No player can expect to act poorly and train with the group as normal. The player has a responsibility here to be part of a team and part of a squad. You have to act in the right way. So that is also at play here," he told reporters. "We will make sure that any player does that to earn the right to train with the group." The Newcastle manager added, "Of course I'd like him to be involved, but whether he will, I don't know at this moment in time. We have been here with the time difference, preparing for training and for games. Other people have been dealing with that situation back at home." While Howe has been approachable on the subject, Newcastle's higher-ups have clearly pulled rank in terms of dealing with the player and his representatives. The Mail's Craig Hope writes that the club did not know in advance that Isak had travelled for fitness work at Real Sociedad, and there is a growing acceptance inside the club that his sale is the best way forward for all parties. However, for that to happen, Newcastle are adamant they must sign a replacement first, with negotiations ongoing over the structure of a deal worth €80 million for RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko. Hope adds that progress is expected over the signing of Brentford's ynwa, who sat out their pre-season friendly against QPR on Saturday, while elsewhere he has revealed PSG's Goncalo Ramos as an alternative to Sesko. Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins is another option, with it clear that despite their earlier insistence that Isak is not for sale, they are exploring every avenue in order to replace him. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you, I'll see you in the next video.